root beer. Don't be shy. My car's your car. You like root beers, don't you? A toast. Death to the of 2019.
Arnie, I can't toast to that.
What can you toast to?
How about us? Friendship.
Oh, yeah, friendship. That's great. Yeah, friendship. Dennis. Ta-da! Wait, watch this. Now you don't see alignments like this. You don't see this anymore. Look at this.
Worried about you, Arnie.
Don't be jealous, Dennis. Nothing will happen to you as long as you don't get between me and Christine. And if you do, well, let's not kid ourselves, Dennis. You know what happens.
The ghouls get out of the shop when Mark springs for an end-of-season celebration. Meanwhile, Mark and Dougie take an off-road trip down memory lane. And while Mark and his cousin relive their favorite moments from the past decades, the ghouls relive their favorite moments from the last year. And the team gathers to plan the build of the first ever Elephant Fury.
The unburied dead, the unburied dead are coming back to life.
Self-proclaimed Mopar master Mark Warman and his protege painter Will Scott get paid to bring Mopar muscle cars back from the dead. They work with Mark's daughter Alyssa and his cousin Dougie. They're willing to travel anywhere to retrieve a customer's car, detailing how it lived its life and how it died. After that, they bring it back to make it look just like it did the day it was born.
We are at a park in Eugene shooting the season finale of Graveyard Carz season 11. All I know is there's going to be food, which is great. So we're just going to have a little get together and just talk about the past season. So one of my favorite moments this season, and my first year here, was probably building out the A100. It was my first major build to be a part of here, and it's such an iconic truck. Being there from start to finish, basically, a lot of the body work was already done. But when it comes over to me, it's already painted and we can just start getting the thing put together. There was a few roadblocks with having some things prepped out and pre-fit that didn't quite work. So there was just some obstacles in the way, but it's got to be one of my favorite parts so far with this. Being able to put the Ray Barton 426 Hemi in there, being able to wire that up is just great. And then, the first. Being able to take the truck to SEMA, that was always been a dream of mine to go to SEMA, and being able to go to that and being able to take such an awesome vehicle there. We had some challenges when we were there, but it ended up being a great week, and so that was probably one of my highlights for this year. Mark has been great teaching me things that I wouldn't know, just learning, trying to get stuff done on your own. He's very open to talk to when it comes to if I have a question. So it's just been really great. I have no clue where Mark is. We've been here for about an hour now. So we're just waiting on him to show up if he does.
Little Petey over there. Yeah! Woohoo! Okay, so this is where this area right over here We're at the bottom of the hill where Doug lived, and there used to be a trail straight up there, didn't there?
There were stairs.
Stairs right there,
Remember?
right where that black fence is, right?
I used to sled down those stairs.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah, you also used to do something else down those stairs too.
Ride bicycles?
No. So, if you guys look over here, this used to be Payless. If you look at the old photos, you'll see that was Payless. Right where that dumpster's sitting there were a couple of dumpsters. And Doug liked to dive in those things and get good stuff. Sometimes he did get good stuff. One time he came up with a bunch of Mexican jumping beans, a great big thing of Mexican jumping beans, and then yo-yos with no strings. So, you know, it was interesting. Well, anyway, I'm coming out of his house up there, and I'll show you where. But I'm coming up his driveway at his house. I get to South 4th Street. I look down the hill, and who do I see coming up those stairs but Dougie? Like Frankenstein. Like, this is what I saw. He's got a mannequin dragging it. He goes up the staircase all the way up to South 4th Street, and that's when I look down, and the sun's setting behind him. It's kind of a cool shot, right? Frankenstein, the mummy, all that stuff. That's one of the mannequins that he used to store up in the attic, which I never understood why he had them up there. He had his reasons, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll show you the top of that area. You want to go see the top of that area? The Mannequin Man. Always thought you were from another planet. All right. Okay.
Ready, Freddie? Up the hill?
Going up the hill.
Where I used to live?
It's a perfect day. Who doesn't love a picnic? So I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping the other guys are excited. So one of my favorite things of this last season is I finally got to show a big part of my department and what I do. Something that usually we don't get around to because there's so much to shoot. That Mark kind of just threw it at me and let me run with my ideas and be able to explain about the car that I was building out. And right at the present moment, I was putting a tail light panel on the back of an end of a car, getting ready to fit up everything, the trunk, the quarters, just everything. So it had to be right on the money. One of the things that stand out in my mind about that bit was when I showed off the AIM welder, how heavy it was, how hard it is to move it around the car. I mean, a lot of people think all I do is just screw a piece in there and I just weld it in place. That doesn't really happen like that. I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes behind these cars. Like when I use the AIM welder, that's a spot weld welder, where it fuses two metals together. And so I got to kind of show a little bit behind the scenes of how that all works and how heavy it is and how hard it is to maneuver around, but how far we will go to make things look accurate. We want to be the best that we possibly can. We want to give the customer what they're paying for. For some reason, Mark's not here, and this is his event. I mean, he's putting this on. I don't have a clue where this guy could even be. I mean, if this was my event, I'd be right here, eating some food, hanging out with everybody.
I never did it, but Doug used to hop these railroad tracks and ride them over to Glenwood. My mother raised a smarter child than that. I never got hurt.
Me?
Hey, old Pioneer Cemetery right up there.
Used to be.
Used to be, it still is.
I think they moved all the gravestones out of there.
They condensed them into like just a few, I think.
Kind of a park
Or the
now.
graves are gone, but the headstones are there. I think that's true. See, I think these are the original headstones, but that were out there in the cemetery. I thought I read something where there was something flooded or that they were coming up. And you think about it, there was entire lives happening here, generations before we came along. Born in Wayne County, Kentucky.
Our parents are from there, right?
My mom was from Kentucky originally, yeah. Then they moved to Colorado and then they moved here. And my dad was from Nebraska. Broken Bow, Nebraska. He got to see his old homestead before he died. We went on a vacation in 1972 before he got diagnosed with cancer. He was still doing pretty good. and we gotta travel through there, so it was kind of cool. What do you say, buzz the tower one time while the cops aren't here?
Yeah.
All right.
Here they come.
These kids won't mind.
Let's do it fast.
Let's go.
Set a bad example, right?
Set a really bad example. There used to go through there. It doesn't go through there anymore, does it? Okay.
That's a heck of a track.
Yeah. This does pretty good on this little trail. Almost as good as my bike used to do. Get out of here before the cops show up, be like the old days. I'm sure when it plays back on TV, somebody will be watching. That's against the law. You're going to prison. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be my first drink. All right. To the top of the hill, James.
James Gum?
It's like the old days, man. I love it. Okay, so I gotta tell you this. So Doug lived just up the hill here. I'll show you in a little bit. Maybe a eighth of a mile. I don't know. 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
And I had just finished saving up. I had a paper out. My dad didn't give me everything because he was dead. And I bought myself a big banana skateboard at Kmart. And you weren't there, but Vince was. First day out, I go out of his driveway and I hop on South 4th. This road is South 4th. And it may not look steep in these pictures, but you can bet it's
Get on
steep.
a skateboard.
Get on.
It's gonna feel really steep fast.
I had no idea.
1,000 miles an hour,
I
right?
was a flatland kid, so I do the, was it Bart Simpson? I hop on that thing. And in no time, I was going so fast, it started a speed wobble. And I think I probably rode it out around that cross street right there, Park Street is my guess.
That's where Ed went down.
That's about as far as I could make it. By that time I was going so fast I knew it was gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So I take my, you're booking, right? So I take one leap, and that was the last leap I touched, was that foot. After that it was cartwheels all the way down here. I don't know, I mean, I can't remember for sure, but I would guess 20 or 30 feet. And I landed right here, right about here. In fact, that patch right there in the blacktop is the shape of my nose. You see that? Look at that. Because this is where I was at. I was down like this, dead, like that.
Yeah.
And then I came to, and when I stood up, my eyes were crossed.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. So I shook it off, and I got a big bruise here on my arm. Can you see it at all?
Yeah.
A brown spot right there?
Yeah.
I got one on my shoulder too, from just tore the bark off. I've got slides. Mom got slides of me when I was a kid with all that. And I
All your
still was
injuries,
riding
huh?
this skateboard too. My face is beat like just to a pulp, like hamburger. So we go back up to the house, walk up there, and Sue, we had been torturing your mother-in-law all day. Doug's wife.
Yeah.
We'd been torturing her. So she thought we were just playing when we started banging on the bathroom door. She had locked herself in there to get away from us because we were tormenting her. And it took her like 5 minutes to open the door, and then she just turned white when she saw me. Called your dad. Your dad came home from Weyerhaeuser. That's all the easy stuff. Now he's got to explain it to my mom. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yep, not my baby. You let what happen? Oh, no.
Little Marky crashed
Little
under your watch?
Little Marky crashed on your watch.
Oh, boy. Bet my dad was in trouble.
He was. He always was.
Stay tuned. Mark and Dougie rediscover a relic from their past, abandoned and riddled with gunshots.
Just weird that 50 years ago this thing was sitting here, folks.
The team strategizes the best approach to build out the one-of-a-kind Elephant Fury. And Mark reveals his theory on the intergalactic origins of his cousin Dougie. '66 brought us Batman, Star Trek, and the first-generation Dodge Charger. Despite sharing the chassis and front-end sheet metal with the mid-sized Coronet, the Dodge Charger's interior was all new. Most notable was the beautiful instrument panel with 4 distinct, easy-to-see hooded gauges, showcasing the 150-mile-an-hour speedometer, the 6,000 RPM tachometer, temperature, and oil pressure. Additionally, the back seats folded down to provide ample interior space and access to the rear hatch. The 66 Dodge Charger came with 3 great engine options: the 361 2-barrel, the 383 4-barrel, and the 426 Hemi, making this 1966 Charger our corpse of the week.
So right here,
My old driveway.
that's Doug's old driveway. It's a private drive, so we can't go down there now. But he lived down there. So when I'm talking about that mini bike experience or any mini bike experience, this is where I walked up. So I walked up that driveway with my skateboard in hand, toting it right here. And I catching that wind. Let it go.
Yeah, it'd be gone already.
Boom! Yeah, this is the best. Yeah. Oh,
Look at Marky go.
game over. Crash and burn all the way down.
Gone in 2 seconds.
That's the same driveway I stuck a rock in Vince's throttle on his ding-how mini bike, shot him up the driveway, crossed the road,
Look at this.
went right through here, head first into the wall. Good memories.
So we're winding down filming for season 11. Mark wanted to get the crew, the behind the scenes guys, get everybody down here at the park, bring Christine down, have it catered, and just kind of say thanks to everybody for the hard work they've done over the past 2 seasons. We got Hole in the Wall coming out here to cater us. I've never had their lunch before. The breakfast has always been really good in the past, so I'm looking forward to it. Season 11 was great. Doing the A100 was, I think, was a lot of fun because it was one of the first times we filmed where it was almost real time. So being able to go back and watch that, and I mean, watch the frustration of it not running, working down there by myself when Mark didn't help, I enjoyed that the most. Reflecting back when the A100 wouldn't start, you know, that frustration was real then, and it was still real to watch it when it aired. You know, Justin and I were there trying to get the figured out, wouldn't work, and you just gotta put yourself in that moment when it was on TV and just like, God, that whole situation just sucked completely. It was rewarding when we got it back to the shop and we were able to fine tune it. We just had a bunch of issues. We didn't have a lot of time to actually get it dialed in the way we wanted to. So it was somewhat rewarding looking at it on display, but the fact that we still had so many problems left, it was good when we got it back to the shop, got it all fixed and everything addressed. So Mark's got us down here. We're ready to get this little event going, and there's no Mark or Doug, so I have no idea what's going on exactly.
There's the old park we used to play at.
There it is, the big S.
Back up through there.
Yeah.
Never understood it. Never understood the totem pole. Always thought that always freaked me out. I never understood that. Let's go see the big S.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
The big S.
The big S.
Springfield marker.
Yes. So this is the park, and actually I'm surprised there's nobody here. It's a cool park. If you look out there, you can see out over half the valley, looking that way. Lane Community College is over there. It's a great place for a picnic or bring your little gal up here. We used to call this Inspiration Point back in the olden days. I closed my share of deals up here, if you know what I'm talking about. Never understood the totem pole, did you, Doug?
Nope.
Okay. You understand the unusual pile of lumber and timber right there, like from the Blair Witch Project? A lot of strange people in Springfield.
Wow.
You see that, camera pops?
Wow.
It's like a little fort.
Wow.
That they built a picnic table. It's a fort, right?
It's a shelter, yeah. It's a
It is. That's a little homeless shelter. I'll be darned.
Yep. People get real creative up on South 4th.
Well, it's interesting. This path always freaked me out because it's like the path to the Pet Cemetery in the original one. Remember the original Pet Cemetery?
Yeah, I took my son to that.
Had that weird rocky path to it. You did?
I took John to that.
Why?
Pet Cemetery.
See, that's creepy, man. That's creepy.
Creeping me out.
That's freaky Jason.
Hear
When was the
those
last time
snakes?
you were up here?
It's been a long time.
30 years
Mark.
ago?
It's been a long time.
There it is. There's the big S.
There it is. I haven't seen this in so long. It used to be blue.
It's been painted so many times.
It's white up there.
The picture of a pee-pee. Those are always funny. That's just so cool because it's so long ago. It's even been years since I was up here. Just as nature is best. I bet some weird stuff's going on up here. Just a guess.
Yep.
Not with me, just for the record, not with me.
Look at the camera. Uh-oh. That's scary. That's kind of creeping me out, basically.
Yeah, weird, huh? Like a little guy in there drawing pictures really quick. Once again, like I say, this is the path right here.
This is the path.
This is the path that takes
On
you
your left is Poison
to the
Oak.
pet cemetery. Poison Oak.
Right here, man. Poison Oak. Check that out.
Oh, that's bad stuff right there.
That's Poison Oak right there, yeah.
That looks like Poison Oak.
It's weird how Doug and Mark, the way they are when they're together, it's like they lose time of reality and space that's going on around them. Like time doesn't matter no more. If you're with them, all of a sudden they'll go into the story about 30 years ago when they were kids and where it was over here, and it has nothing to do with what you're working on. So I mean, when they get together, they just get lost. I mean, there's no easy way or nice way to say it. They're kind of like dumbfounded.
So this is the area right here. Took us a while to find it. We knew kind of where it was at. A couple years ago, we were up here looking around, and this was all blocked off, and it was winter, and there was lakes around here. But since then, we've discovered it, and that's the trail that takes us back to the track. And again, the track is the area, we call it the track. It was just a big open field that you'd come out of this trail area, and it was like an oasis. All of a sudden it would open up and you could get in there and just honk on that throttle, man, all day long. And we'd spend all day up there going around and around in circles. And the funny thing is, well, when we get down there, I'll show you, but there's a 58 or a 59 or a 60 maybe Pontiac, upside down with shotgun holes in it, that has been there since we were kids. And when I was talking to Doug a few years ago, I said, you remember the old car that used to sit there? I don't remember exactly where it was, but somewhere on our way to the track. And he said, no, there weren't no car there. I said, yeah, there was a car there. I remember there was a car there. Nah, weren't no car there, fool. There was a car there. I didn't hallucinate it. So when we went in the back way here last year and discovered this property I'm wanting to buy, sitting over here in the woods, under the brush, in the grass, is that 59 Pontiac. But you know, that's what got to me thinking, hey, I don't know you're the same guy that rode motorcycles with me. That could have been Dougie 102 or TS19, I don't know. You want to go see the track? Let's go see the track.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Let's go see the track.
The 1966 Charger, like the one from our Corpse of the Week, featured luxuriously comfortable front bucket seats, and the attractive, richly trimmed console is full length. Which feature was not available as an option on the 1966 Dodge Charger? Was it air conditioning, remote controlled outside mirror, sure grip differential? Find out after the break. Which feature was not available as an option on the 1966 Dodge Charger? If you guessed that all of these features were available, you were right. They came along for the ride with optional power windows, power steering, power brakes, blue tinted glass, and an electric clock that automatically adjusts itself whenever the hands are reset. If you didn't know, now you do.
Great. See, there it is. Ha ha! That is so crazy. There it is.
So you remember that from when we were kids?
Well, I don't know how you don't. We drove by it every single day, 50 times a day.
Maybe I was focusing on where I was going.
Oh yeah, you wrecked a lot more than I did. You wrecked a lot more than I did. Look at that old thing. Geez, that looks better than half the cars that come into the shop. No, it does. Look at the bottoms of the rockers. I'm doing a 70 Super B right now that has no rockers. That's nuts. Look at that crazy thing.
Boy, somebody sure hated that car, didn't they?
Well, here's a hood. I think this is a hood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is. This thing was just like this. It's exactly like this. See the Sawzall through the frame rail?
Oh my gosh.
Somebody might have tried to take that front clip for some reason.
They didn't know how to pull the engine out.
That's just nuts. And why are all 4 doors open? And where's the roof?
You said Bundy was here, didn't you?
Holy cow, look at that thing. The trailing arm's jacked up because they've rotted loose from the back end probably. Just weird. Just weird that 50 years ago this thing was sitting here, folks. I mean, we assume, I shouldn't round it up like that. It was probably 45 years ago that we were here.
Just stole the rear end out of
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the assembly line markings
What
on the frame.
in the world?
Those are the original markings.
What does it say?
Dougie, wait here.
George was here.
It says Dougie, wait here. You know, I always had a curious question about this area, and as I'm up here as an adult, it's making more sense to me. You loved this area even more than I did. And you'd come up here and you'd disappear for hours. And those power lines, they don't go anywhere. I followed them the other day. They stop into the ground down there. And that in too. Just wondering, this would be, if you were gonna transport somebody back and forth, this is a nice open area to do it in.
What's wrong with a TM400?
Boy. Well, that's
Transported
probably
me
some
around.
code for, yeah, that's something the Jetsons used to drive probably.
Jetsons.
Those seats are still in it. That is so crazy. And Doug didn't remember this was here. You guys, look at that.
Those are vinyl seats, Mark.
And they're still in good shape. Hey, there's some graffiti. This is the same graffiti that's down there on that pole at the bottom of the hill.
Vinyl seats.
Isn't that wild?
It's not white leather.
That's crazy.
Oh, look at this.
Yep. That's
Irish-
that same stuff.
Irish Eyes was here.
Irish Eyes.
Live free. 319.
The rear bumper's nice. So all you little boys and girls out there in TV land, you got a 59 Pontiac, maybe a 58, and you need a rear bumper, I can hook you up. That's better than half the chrome we get these days.
Look at the hitch on that thing. You could pull a train with that.
I wonder if the VIN is on this car and it's reported stolen. If there's any old police records, Springfield Police from 1960, 61.
60 Pontiac.
I was born in
four-door.
62 and this thing's like a 59. Oh, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Made them solid back then, didn't they?
Let's get down to the track. I gotta show these guys where I think you're beaming in and out of.
Still to come, Mark reveals a secret to cousin Dougie about his future intentions for their old stomping grounds. The team hatches a plan of attack to complete the Elephant Fury build in time for SEMA 2019. And the ghouls finally get to chow down. Well, maybe not all of the ghouls.
What the heck, Dad?
Well, we said 1 o'clock. You're supposed to be here at 1 o'clock. See, right up here. Well, this is the opening here, isn't it?
This is it.
That's it.
This is it.
You guys are standing right at the opening.
The old track.
See these little fence poles right here? I'm right on them. This is the area that was the wide open track. It's not so wide open now. Look at that, how grown over that is.
Yeah.
Holy cow. We'd go all the way down here. He was come honking through this area right here. I didn't have enough gas to ride around all day like Doug did. His dad gave him all the fuel. So I had to sit up there at the top of the track watching him have fun. And he come through this corner like this here, and he looks up at me like, ha, you don't get a ride and I do, you know, kind of thing. And then he
Shifted into third
He
gear.
shifted into third gear. He overloaded it. He was not moving. He was going like this in third gear. It should have killed the engine. And instead, it went all the way up on its end, shot the bike out from underneath him that way. Doug went that way right on his head. A lot of time up here. I bet that's a quarter mile around.
Down there, up there, down there.
So you follow those poles all the way till they disappear on the other side. See those tracks in the grass? I went down there. And all of a sudden, the wires aren't hooked to anything.
They're not.
No. And you see that tower up there on the mountain?
Yeah.
I called the guys over at Knife River and I go, well, what is that, a communication tower? And they go, what tower are you talking about? Ain't no tower up there. So it's right there. They said, we don't have any towers up there. So now I'm beginning to see this whole thing coming. I saw them working, Mindy. Okay?
Nanu.
Somewhere out there's a big egg. You came down in a big egg, nanu, that's right. This is such a fantastic day. Doug doesn't even know this, very few people, my wife knows it, but I'm actually buying a piece of property up here. So if you look there, there's a bunch of lots for sale. I've already secured the lot that is right next to the track at the very top. So when I do get it finally hatched, that's really where it's gonna be. I think everybody's gonna be pretty excited. Okay, so the property that I'm buying, a couple years ago, I talked to the guy that's developing down on the other end, and he's gonna develop all of this hill up through here. And they're in 1 acre parcels. And so the acre that I'm buying is right about where that tree is at that says no trespassing or whatever's left of it there. My backyard will be the track. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I've already talked to those guys about buying this property and they are interested in possibly selling it. They would sell it, but the guy told me it's a huge company and it just takes time. They'll never do anything with this area because it's on this side of the road for blasting. They used to blast for rocks up there. I wish I could take you guys up there and show you that mountain's all blown out on the sides. This time of day, 30 years ago, you'd hear dynamite going off all day long. They'd be blasting that hill.
And a TM400.
And a TM400.
Going around and around
and
here.
a Honda 100, CL100S.
Sounded a lot like that Ranger.
What do you think, Rooster?
We did it.
All right.
Did it.
All right.
We've learned so far that the 1966 Dodge Charger, like our Corpse of the Week, came with 3 great engine options. The 361 2-barrel, the 383 4-barrel, and for ultimate power, the 426 Hemi. True or false? The 1966 Charger offered 10 different color options. Think you know? Find out after the break. We've established that the 1966 Charger, like our Corpse of the Week, came with 3 great engine options. And now we've made the claim that the 1966 Charger offered 10 color options. Were we telling the truth? Well, you caught us. In fact, Dodge offered 17 gorgeous and long-lasting acrylic enamel color options for the 1966 Charger.
When Mark and Doug get together, you know, they always go down memory lane, so they could literally be heading down here and then pass their old stomping grounds, take a left turn to go look at some place where they met out with some girl behind a tree and reminisce about it. Who knows where they're at this point. It's about time.
So there's 2 reasons why we're late. Number 1, Christine needed to have her battery charged. So we put a battery charger on it for 90 minutes, a nice slow charge. And then, while everybody was waiting, I guess, Doug and I took the Ranger up to the top of South 4th Street, which is his old stomping grounds. So we had an opportunity to get up there and look at some of the property, showed you where he knocked his melon in at the top of the hill, remember that?
Oh.
I think that's the homing area for his species. Looks like some eats.
Doug, what took
that's
so long?
Good.
What took so long?
Car gave me a little trouble.
Car didn't give me any trouble at all.
It did.
You want to be careful what you say about her. She's real sensitive.
Car's a POS.
Well, that's one death warrant signed.
What? You knocked my teeth out?
You say something about Christine?
Did it break down, Doug?
Be careful, buddy.
It won't run for me.
Why aren't you guys eating?
We're waiting on you.
So this looks like it's ready. Are we talking ready?
We're ready. We're ready. We're starting.
Oh my God, that looks amazing. Well, don't be shy. You could have ate without me.
I'm really excited to try Hole in the Wall. I've never had it, but I've heard really great reviews about it. So it's kind of a win-win. I mean, I ain't got to pay my money. Somebody else is paying their money. So if I don't like them, whatever. But I've heard they are very good.
That's the most ridiculous plate I've ever seen in my life.
Why?
Well, what? There's about 10 million calories right there, and why are you eating your dessert first?
Because it's the best.
I'll tell you what he's doing right here is that's what he did all the time growing up, too. Spoiled rotten. They always had, every night was like this up at their house.
Good food first.
They had it all. They had
Captain
Welch's
Crunch.
grape juice, Captain Crunch, they
Yeah.
had brisket. They came in every night and made fresh brisket.
Once a month we have Bob's 19-cent hamburgers. I sure hope I get to go home soon.
Yeah.
Wherever it is.
Well, you can make light of it, but something's going on up there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Why? We're already done eating. We just finished.
What the heck, Dad?
Well, we said 1 o'clock. You're supposed to be here at 1 o'clock.
I didn't say anything.
And why have you stolen my truck?
Okay. You knew the last 2 weeks that I needed to clean out my storage. And I
Yeah.
needed to use your truck. You knew this. I told you.
You said you were going to
You
borrow
never
my truck
told
and
me
tell me
about
when you were
this.
going to do it. Remember?
And why is your collar like that? What is
Because
that
this
with
is
whole
because
thing?
I'm back because I'm getting to be like
Are
Arnie.
those Mom's glasses?
By the time, no, these are my glasses. You stole my
Wait,
truck
so-
and you're late for. Well, the lunch is already picked up. If you can go over there, maybe scavenge through the garbage, see if you can come up with something.
Oh man, do you have like $10 or something?
No, I don't have $10. I ain't giving you $10.
But you bought everybody else's lunch.
There's a bum down there. Go see if he's got $10. Now watch out. He's standing next to another guy I wouldn't trust.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad you could make it. Why do you look like a cop?
Why do you look like a fool?
I look like I'm from the 50s, not like a fool, man.
You're wearing Mom's sunglasses, Dad. So is there food or not?
I don't know. You go check and see. See if there's anything. George is still over there moping around. There must be food.
Well, there must be food. Okay. Well, you didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, and I heard Mom told you yesterday, too.
Mom didn't.
You lie like a dog.
No.
At the beginning of Mission Impossible, you were given a task and asked if you were up to the task. Are you guys up to the task?
Yeah.
Should you decide to accept it, which you don't have a choice, you're fired. So, you know, we have a lot of fun at Graveyard Carz. Everybody knows I like to have fun with people and tease them. But this is the time of year where things start getting more serious. End of October, this thing's got to be down in Las Vegas at SEMA, right? Mopar bequeathed the very, very first elephant engine to us. So this is serial number 0001. There's no better car in the world to go into than Christine. But I can't just stuff it in there the way the car is now. It wouldn't represent the engine right. So we have to do a full-blown Graveyard Carz restoration on it. Yes. We're all going to SEMA. You guys like to go to SEMA and have a good time? Oh, yeah. Right? Celebrate, a lot of celebrations.
Oh, yeah.
You like to go, right? Dougie?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've never done a car like this before. Everybody that touches this car has to be very detail-oriented and really focus on what they're doing.
Doug, you are going to be personally in charge of the complete disassembly. I don't care how many of these guys you want to use, who in the shop you want to use. Your job is to get the car disassembled. Alyssa, your job is to inventory everything that comes off of the car. That means I want a written list of every single part, and I want to know on every single part if it needs replaced, restored, replated, reconditioned, whatever. I got to know what those things are.
Okay.
You are going to be working with me on the metal. We've never worked on one of these body over frame, so we're going to take the body off of the frame. When he starts disassembling it, it'll come over to us and we'll have to put rockers and floor pans. But you and I are going to work closely over the weekends, Saturday and Sundays, every one between now and November. Got it?
Got it.
That's my guy.
With all the cars that I've got going on right now, throwing Christine in there, it's gonna kind of get tough to weigh it out. But I mean, I'm sure I'll prevail.
We can't take time away from our client cars. So what that means is I'll be paying them to come in overtime on the weekends. And we'll work evenings and weekends to get this thing done. You're gonna be on assembly, final assembly, but I want you to go through with Alyssa and tell me what parts, when she says it needs replaced, your job's to source it.
So with the A100, we had such a crunch time to be able to get it to SEMA. So there's a couple things that went wrong. So this year, hopefully we have a longer time to be able to get this thing built and make sure we go off every single checklist that we make just to avoid those problems happening in the future with Christine.
I'll give you the few names that I have of people,
Yep.
okay? But your job is gonna make sure that it's sourced, because if it comes up to the last day and it's not there, and I have to kill somebody, you're the sacrifice.
Alrighty.
But of course it's a concern. It's always a concern that you're not gonna get something done on time. But this year, not only are we gonna be there, but we're gonna make it across the red carpet. Last year, I got screwed out of it because it wouldn't start. This year, we'll be at the red carpet. Will, your job, should you decide to take it, is to make sure that all the materials are here for this car to get painted. We're gonna do it in pieces because it's a solid color. Hey, you, right here.
We've done this before.
Call Pee-Pee? Yeah, I know, and you usually wait till it's too late to order the paint, so I want you to make sure.
Never once happened. We're doing a car for Mopar, so there's no reason why we can't start this process now and actually get it done at a reasonable time as opposed to being rushed and last minute. He won't allow it though. He's gonna come up around Halloween and say, hey, Christine's gotta be loaded up in 2 days, guys, let's get it done.
I want
Never
5
once.
gallons of concept single
You
stage.
don't even know. We did the A100.
Look at the size of the car.
No, focus. The A100, you couldn't even get that in a single stage because these old reds, they don't make it available any longer.
Oh, that's
So-
right. You just started painting. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that. I'll take care of ordering the correct paint for it.
Sure you will.
Can you make sure that it gets blocked correctly and painted correctly, or do you need some help with that?
I don't know. The car's going red. It's an easy color. We're not gonna have any problems with the body or paint at all. It'll be the assembly with like Justin and Mark is where we fall short.
What's with the Ray Charles glasses? Starting to method act?
They're the same glasses I've had for years.
Method act. Is he blind? It's not funny.
Nobody's laughing.
Okay. They're all cracking up.
There's no all.
They're everybody. Don't show
No.
them. There's about 8,000 people watching us film this, sir.
There really isn't. They're your employees.
Whatever. Denial ain't just a river in Egypt, Will. Okay, Doug and I got to go back to the shop and do things. You guys be cool. Take care of yourselves. Dougie?
Yes, sir.
Dennis? I call him Dennis. I'm Arnie Cunningham.
Fire off.
Arnie Cunningham.
Oh, Doug, you're getting in like an old man now.
Doug's getting
You just
old.
really-
Doug's getting old.
Doug.
Cool. Door handles.
Isn't that cool?
Oh,
Great start.
need a push?
You need something?
Sounds good.
Hey, would you guys mind pushing? Well, the battery's dead in her. Be careful what you say. She's real sensitive. So while this may be the end of our 11th season, I think that we're really just beginning to come into our own. We're the brand advocate for Mopar. There's only one in the world. It's us. We're the top Mopar restoration shop in the country. We are on the top of the game. And you camera guys, don't show that we're pushing it. We just got to keep up the quality, keep up the timeliness, keep our fans watching, and we'll be around for many years to come. That's my goal.
Watch him just slam on the brakes.
I know.
He's so pissed off.